Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2016 Wrocław Global Forum. Please welcome to the stage Mayor Rafał Dudkiewicz. Szanowni Państwo, witamy na Wrocław Global Forum 2016. Powitajmy na scenie prezydenta Wrocławia, pana Rafała Dudkiewicza.
Welcome everybody. My people prepared the speech for me in a written form, which is a signal we are getting older, Fred. It is my great pleasure and honor to welcome all of you to the Wrocław Global Forum, here in Wrocław, in the European Capital of Culture 2016. There's a time for applause written in this speech. Appreciate. We are honored with the presence of many distinguished guests. Her Excellency Tina Kidasheli, Minister of Defense of Georgia. Welcome. His Excellency Linas Linkevičius, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Lithuania. Welcome. And generally, the senators and representatives of the United States Congress. Welcome, everybody. Before we start our discussion, I would like to take the opportunity to express my deepest gratitude to those whose work and expertise made this global forum possible. Firstly, to the team led by Magda Piasecka, Fran Burwell, Michał Kobosko, and Basia Radomska. Very big applause for them. Secondly, to our friends from the Polish Institute of International Affairs, led by Mr. Director Sławomir Dębski. And mainly to the people from Atlantic Council. Firstly, I wanted to welcome Mr. Governor Huntsman, the chairman of Atlantic Council. Welcome, Excellency. And the deepest friend of the city of Wrocław, Mr. Frederick Kemper. Welcome, Fred. Last but not least, there are many young volunteers, and what I wanted to say thank you very much to them. You know, my favorite anecdote about something what has changed in this very part of Europe, it is about vacation we spent, my family and me, in the beginning of 90s in an Italian city of Padova. And there was an Italian guy who was playing with my little son, teaching him how to swim properly in a swimming pool. And my beginning of 90s. And my wife asked me to say thank you to this very guy, therefore I invited him to the bar, and while drinking grappa, I asked him, where do you come from? He was from Rome. And then he asked me back, where do I come from? And I said, you wouldn't know, I am from the city of Wrocław. And his reaction was pretty strange, because he said, wow, Wrocław, Legnica, Oleśnica, Brzeg, mentioning smaller cities around the city of Wrocław. The issue was he was appointed by NATO and responsible for bombing of this area and knowing every military airport close to Wrocław. And this is what has changed because of transatlantic relations. We really appreciate. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Atlantic Council Chairman, Governor John Huntsman. Szanowni Państwo, powitajmy na scenie przewodniczącego Atlantic Council, pana Johna Huntsmana.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for those kind, warm, welcoming words. I think the only person who could give you a run for your money is Fred Kemp, and it's a good thing that he's not running for mayor in an upcoming election. He actually has roots in Wrocław, which is quite remarkable. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Atlantic Council, its board of directors, its international advisory board members, and our president and CEO, Fred Kemp, it is really an immense pleasure to welcome you to the 7th annual Wrocław Global Forum. 7th. Incredible, the number of years and the successful gatherings we've had now in this short span of time. It's my first time visiting Wrocław, and it's truly a remarkable city, Mr. Mayor, brimming with culture and life and activity of all kinds, situated right in the heart of Europe. You know, Poland represents an important partnership for the United States, one that is built upon our country's shared set of values, which is saying a lot, because it's always those shared set of values that provide the glue that really hold any enduring relationship together. Our gathering here comes at a time of persistent global turbulence and uncertainty, faced with an array of challenges, some of which kind of resemble ghosts of the past, and others which seem to be new products of the 21st century. The United States, Europe, and our allies around the world face an historic test. Rising populist movements and far-right voices threaten the free, open, and inclusive societies that Europe has worked so very hard to build since the end of World War II. Crises in the Middle East are destabilizing multiple states and flooding an increasingly divided Europe with migrants, while terrorist networks actively target European countries as well as the United States. China is growing more assertive, both regionally and around the world, and a revanchist Russia is adding new dimensions to the crisis in Syria, while also forcing NATO to reconsider its strategy for the future as it prepares for the upcoming summit, scheduled just a few weeks from today, not far from here, in Warsaw. All the while, back in the United States, Europe's closest partner is very much distracted by a presidential election campaign that has scratched a growing demand for the United States to pursue a more isolationist foreign policy narrative, raising new questions about America's role in the world post-November. The international environment has seldom been so complex or volatile. Make no mistake, how the transatlantic community responds will define our collective security, prosperity, and freedom for generations to come. Despite these challenges, the Atlantic Council is as committed as ever to promoting effective leadership that will yield truly effective solutions. Every day, we act with the conviction that if the United States shapes the future constructively with its friends and allies, the world will thrive. However, if we fail to do so, less benevolent forces or even chaos will fill the void. This year's Wrocław Global Forum is focused on how we shape the agenda to respond and adapt to these tectonic shifts in politics, economics, and our larger social fabric. It is fitting to address these challenges at the core of Europe in Wrocław, a city shaped by centuries of European history. Over the course of the next 2 days, we'll hear from a wide range of policymakers, business practitioners, and experts to confront and forge innovative and meaningful solutions to the myriad challenges facing us today. I would encourage you to engage with the speakers and delegations, whether in person or as you participate in the forum's panels and plenary sessions, or on Twitter, using the official forum hashtag WGF16. For the first time ever, we'll be using Twitter polls to engage you, our audience, online. To kick this off, we'll be asking for your opinion on what are the biggest challenges facing Europe and the transatlantic community today. Stay tuned for more interactive polls by following us on Twitter. Now, before I close, I also want to thank the Atlantic Council's partners in organizing the Wroclaw Global Forum. Mayor Dudkiewicz and the city itself, you've really been a marvelous, magnificent co-organizer and host. Each and every year we have come now for 7 years straight. This city is a very, very special place led by the mayor's fantastic team, and we're very appreciative for their work. And of course, our friends at the Polish Institute of International Affairs under Sławomir Dębski for not only their close cooperation in organizing this forum, but also for their long history of partnership with the Atlantic Council on Poland. I'd also like to offer our very special appreciation to Maciej Watuski, who's a member of our board, for the great work and assistance there. I'd like to thank the director of our Warsaw office, Mikhail Kobosko. I'd also like to offer deep thanks and appreciation to our Executive Vice President, Fran Burwell, who's done so much over the years to make this a success. Thanks also to my wife, Mary Kay, who is here for the first time in Wroclaw, and I know how excited she is to be here at this forum and part of the audience today. I wish you all an enlightening experience and a wonderful day, and encourage you to take total advantage of all that the forum and the city of Wroclaw have to offer. With that, please join me in welcoming Sławomir Dębski to the stage. Thank you all so very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Polish Institute of International Affairs Director Sławomir Dębski.
Mr. Mayor of Wrocław, Mr. Chairman of Atlantic Council, Foreign Ministers of Lithuania and Georgia, members of the Parliament, members of the Senate, Excellencies representing heads of the foreign governments, professors, chairmen of foundations and associations, other NGOs, members of the press. On the behalf of the Polish Institute of International Affairs, I would like to welcome all of you to the 7th Wrocław Global Forum. Polish Institute of International Affairs is a very special institution established by the Act of Parliament to help the government to conduct Polish foreign policy. It is my great pleasure that we could contribute to this forum, and we would like to continue our efforts to bring United States closer to Europe, Europe closer to United States, and both societies from both sides of the Atlantic to understand each other better. This kind of forums serve exactly this purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have a ready-made speech for this occasion, and the explanation is that I'm speaking here in this role for the first time, so there is no risk I could repeat this myself. But I was asked to read to you the special address of the President of Poland to the participants of this year's forum. And I will read it in Polish as it was written. So please prepare yourself for the translation. Szanowni Państwo,
Dear ladies and gentlemen,
proszę przyjąć
please
serdeczne
accept
podziękowanie
my deepest gratitude for inviting me to participate in Wrocław Global Forum. Unfortunately, the tight schedule of all my duties related, among all, the preparation to the July NATO summit prevented me from joining you on this very occasion. It gladdens me a lot that this year's edition of Wrocław Global Forum has undertaken to tackle the problems of international security in a so decided manner. Now, the meaning of this issue is well understood by the organizers, that is, the Atlantic Council, the Polish Institute for International Affairs, as well as the city of Wrocław, which is implied by the agenda of the forum, including debates on the diagnosis of the current state of security all over the world and in Europe, as well as panel discussions devoted to the challenges of the future. Now, I share the perspective of the forum's organizers that decided to choose the speakers and subject, thus emphasizing the importance of the following principle, that the security of all members of the transatlantic community and NATO is so important regardless of geographic location and number of inhabitants. And I agree that this very tight location, tight collaboration between individual continents and its relation to stability and competitiveness of economies, as well as the observance of international law, is the very foundation, is the lasting pillar upon which we can build transatlantic alliances. And therefore I am glad and I congratulate the organizers that they succeeded in making the Wrocław meeting a relevant and recognizable venue for discussion devoted to the most important geopolitical matters, which obviously is given by the evidence on the list of participants, including representatives of business, top leaders and politicians. And therefore I would like to assure you that I strongly support the idea of Wrocław Global Forum, and I'm hoping that next year I will personally take part in the event. Best regards, President of the Republic of Poland, Andrzej Duda.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you inspiring discussion and a great time in Wrocław.